You suck at cooking, yeah, you totally suck.
Today we're making onion rings, also known as delicious, crispy, panko-encrusted, calamari-looking grease hoops. We'll start by taking a spherical onion, and this one's a bit small. Let's rehydrate this one. Actually, it's still a bit too small, so let's just... There we go. We're gonna need to cut these into ring shapes. Whoops. You want to cut these 1/4 to 1/2 inch wide. A lot of people think onions make you cry because of the synpropanethyl S oxide stimulating your lacrimal glands, but it's actually because onions are subliminally mean. Look.
Your confidence is a facade. You're not fooling anybody.
Good thing it doesn't have any effect on me though. Obviously a much easier way to get the rings is to smash the onion against a wall. Make sure to remove the layer of scotch tape that keeps the onion rings together. Now we're going to combine 3/4 cup of flour with 1/4 cup cornstarch to create corn flauter. Now you can add whatever flavor you want to not be able to taste once it's deep fried. I like not tasting garlic powder, chili powder, and cumin. A lot of people use cayenne, but I like to go my own way, even if it's the wrong way. Alright, fine, I'll put in some cayenne. And a teaspoon of salt, and some pepper. Now we'll take some cold soda water, around a cup or so, depending on how much spice you add, and we'll wang jangle that in until it's around yay thick. This is batter station number 1. The reason we use soda water is so that the light carbonation calories cancel out the heavy grease calories, making these onion rings calorie neutral, I'm pretty sure. Now we'll light some candles, take a piece of bread, and toast it the old-fashioned way, and then we'll just smash that into crumbs, and then those go into a bowl. This is batter station number 2.
Assume your batter stations.
So you dunk the onion in the batter until it's completely covered, and now we're going to add the panko layer, shake it in the bread dust until it burrows like a desert lizard, then give it a flip and repeat. It's pretty ironic that we're adding layers back onto the onion here. I bet it's pissed.
You think you know everything about people, but you actually know nothing.
Use a fork to sift for batter nuggets and take those out. Use separate tongs or separate fingers at each station to avoid a bunch of crud gunking buildup. If you're going to make a lot of these, you might want to consider investing in a battering ram. It just does a really good job. And once you've got some of those done, you're ready to fry. I'm using peanut oil, and you want to use a high smoke point oil like this, or canola, or corn, or safflower. Now I'm going to heat up my oil to 350 Fahrenheit. It's really important you know the exact temperature. Deep frying is one of the more dangerous things you can do in the kitchen, and these are just a few of the things you have to keep in mind. Please check out the link in the description about safely deep frying before you attempt it. And remember, the safest way to make onion rings is to order them from the bar and leave it to the pros.
Whoa, look at those shapes. It's like a portal to another dimension.
Now after around 15 minutes of patience, my oil has come up to 350 degrees. I've got my onion ring elevator I'm going to use to gently lower these in, and we'll just let them have a volcanic swim for around 3 minutes total, gently flipping once at the halfway point without splashing. Then we'll elevate those out of there and let them rest in this comfortable steel bed. This spider strainer is phenomenal because my hands are never anywhere near the oil, which is how I like it. And just keep doing that until your onions look like they had a wicked March break, bruh. Onion rings are all done. The only thing left to do is give it the crispiness test. Not bad. Happy St. Patrick's Day from Bushmills Whiskey. Bushmills is the first licensed whiskey distillery, and they want to buy you your first drink of St. Patrick's Day, so you can start with Ireland's best. You can support your local bar safely by grabbing a to-go cocktail. Thank you, sir. Take a photo of your itemized receipt and upload it to the microsite to be reimbursed up to $6. The offer is good any day until March 18th. Exclusions apply. Visit bushmills.com/firstwhiskey to learn more. And if you're celebrating at home this year, here's how to make an Irish coffee. An ounce or two of Bushmills, an amount of brown sugar you like, an amount of coffee you like, and too much whipped cream. There's no such thing as too much whipped cream. However you choose to celebrate, have a great St. Patrick's Day.